Good evening. It's Wednesday, November 16th, 2022, and welcome to the Town of Carmel Town Board voting meeting. I call this meeting to order, and I'm asking our Town Clerk, Ann Spofford, to do a roll call attendance, please.
Councilman Baranowski. Here. Councilman Lombardi.
Here.
Councilwoman McDonough. Councilman Shano.
Here.
Supervisor Kaziri.
Here. If everyone would please rise and face the flag. Councilwoman McDonough will lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to
The flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Please remain standing for a moment of silence to remember all of the men and women who are fighting for our freedom. Thank you.
Okay, we'll start off with opening the floor to any resident or business owner that would like to get up and speak about town business. Okay, if no one wants to approach the microphone, move on to our first item. It's a resolution making appointment to Sergeant, Town of Carmel Police Department, Detective Brian Ford. Chief, do you want to say a few words first?
Thank you, Mr. Supervisor, members of the board. Good evening. We are here before you for a very happy occasion. We have a couple of promotions and an appointment. The first being for Detective Brian Ford. Brian's our senior investigator, and he's been with us since 2018. He's a hometown kid, a graduate of Carmel High School. He began his law enforcement career in 2013 with the Town of Kent Police, just to our north, and joined us in 2018. In 2020, he was promoted to detective, and right now we'd like to promote him to sergeant. We will be assigning him for a short time to the patrol division to gain some experience, and we eventually would like to promote him in the near future to detective sergeant. So I offer for your consideration and approval Detective Brian Ford for promotion to sergeant.
Thank you, Chief. I think you're our first Kent that came straight here. Tommy and I were the valley between Kent and here. So that seemed to be a good transition, right? So, Councilman Lombardi, would you read the first resolution?
Sure. Resolve that the Town Board of Town of Carmel, acting as commissioners of the Town of Carmel Police Department, hereby appoints Detective Brian Ford to the position of sergeant effective immediately on a probationary basis, subject to provisions of civil service law and the civil service rules and regulation. I offer this resolution as read.
Second?
Seconded by McDonough and Shano. Can we get a roll call?
Councilman Baranowski.
With pleasure, yes.
Councilman Lombardi.
With pleasure.
Councilwoman McDonough.
Yes, with pleasure.
Councilman Shano.
Yes, with pleasure.
Supervisor Kaziri.
Yes, Resolution 1 passed. Congratulations. Okay, you ready? Nice and slow. Yep. I, Brian Ford,
I, Brian Ford,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
to uphold the Constitution of the United States of America,
to uphold the Constitution of the United States of America,
the Constitution of the State of New York,
the Constitution of the State of New York,
and I will faithfully discharge the duties
and I will faithfully discharge the duties
of the appointed position of Sergeant in the Carmel Police Department
of the appointed position of Sergeant in the Carmel Police Department
in and for the Town of Carmel
in and for the Town of Carmel
according to the best of my ability.
according to the best of my ability.
Very good. Congratulations. first.
Kazari at the end.
No, I'm in the middle. I'm not getting pushed out this time.
Kazari, you're on the end. Supervisor, you're on the end. Did I tell you what I did? So early on, when you go to stuff, I would tell.
No. Your wife is though. Yes, stay there. So our second resolution is making the appointment of detective to the Carmel Police Department, P.O. Brian Smith. Chief?
Thank you, Mr. Supervisor. With the promotion of Detective Ford to Sergeant, we have an opening in the Detective Division for Detective, and the department would like to designate Police Officer Brian Smith to the position of Detective. Brian is also a hometown kid, graduate of Mahopac High School. He's very community involved. He's a captain with the Mahopac Fire Department, and he's one of our hardest working officers. So with your approval, we would like to designate Police Officer Brian Smith to the rank of detective. Thank you.
Councilman Shadow, would you read the resolution, please?
Resolution making probationary promotional appointment of detective, Town of Carmel Police Department. Resolved that the Town Board of the Town of Carmel, acting as commissioners of the Town of Carmel Police Department, hereby appoints Police Officer Brian Smith to the position of detective effective immediately on a promotional probationary basis, subject to the provisions of civil service law and the civil service rules and regulations. I offer this resolution as read.
Second?
Seconded by McDonough and Baranowski. Can we get a roll call, please?
Councilman Baranowski?
With pleasure, yes.
Councilman Lombardi?
With pleasure.
Councilwoman McDonough?
Yes, with pleasure.
Councilman Shano?
Yes, with pleasure.
Supervisor Kazari?
Yes. Congratulations, Brian. So, I, Brian Smith, do solemnly swear
I, Brian Smith, do solemnly swear
that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States of America,
that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States of America,
the Constitution of the State of New York,
the Constitution of the State of New York,
and that I will faithfully discharge
and that I will faithfully discharge
the duties of the appointed position
the duties of the appointed position
of detective with the Police Department
of detective with the Police Department
in and for the Town of Carmel,
in and for the Town of Carmel,
according to the best of my abilities.
according to the best of my abilities.
Congratulations. Thank you. Yes, so our third resolution, Chief.
Thank you again, Mr. Supervisor. The third offering we have, last but certainly not least, is an appointment with the Carmel Police Department. The department wishes to appoint Mr. Matthew Valente of Kent. He is currently a 911 dispatcher with Putnam County. He has a very strong public safety background. He's a volunteer with Carmel Volunteer Ambulance Corps, and he's also an assistant fire chief with the Kent Fire Department. So through our interviews with the command staff, we determined that he was our best candidate. And as a newbie, if you will, he'll be attending the police academy in January down in Westchester County for 6 months of training, after which he'll be assigned to field training, and we'll have him out on patrol hopefully within the year. So for your consideration, we offer Mr. Matthew Valente for the position of police officer. Thank you.
Great, thank you, Chief. Okay, so resolution number 3, resolution making probationary appointment of police officer, Town of Carmel Police Department. Resolved that the Town Board of the Town of Carmel, acting as commissioners of the Town of Carmel Police Department, hereby appoints Matthew Valente to the position of police officer in the Town of Carmel Police Department effective January 1st, 2023, on a probationary basis at an annual salary of $50,428, subject to the provisions of civil service law and civil service rules and regulations. I offer that resolution as read.
Second.
Seconded by Lombardi, McDonough, and Baranowski. Roll call.
Councilman Baranowski.
With pleasure, yes.
Councilman Lombardi.
With pleasure.
Councilwoman McDonough.
Yes, with pleasure.
Councilman Shannell.
With pleasure, yes.
Supervisor Kazari.
Yes. Congratulations, Matt. Okay, so you raise your right hand, right? So I, Matthew Valente,
I, Matthew Valenti,
do solemnly swear that I will support and defend
I will support and defend
the Constitution of the United States,
the Constitution of the United States,
the Constitution of the State of New York,
the Constitution of the State of New York,
and I will faithfully discharge
and I will faithfully discharge
the duties of the appointed position
to the duties of the appointed position
of police officer
of police officer
in and for
in and for
the Town of Carmel,
the Town of Carmel,
according to the best of my abilities.
according to the best of my abilities.
Very good. Congratulations. good, they're staying.
Yeah.
Thank you, everyone, for coming out.
Yeah. Mrs. Ford, were you here to see your son or Valente? You here to see Matt or Brian? No? Yeah. Oh, he must be a reporter.
That would be just mean.
That would be me.
Okay, so our fourth resolution is a resolution acknowledging emergency repairs and service, Carmel Water and Sewer District. Councilman McDonough?
Yes. Resolved that the Town Board of the Town of Carmel, acting as commissioners of the various water and sewer districts of the Town of Carmel, upon the recommendation of Town Engineer Richard J. Franzetti, P.E., hereby acknowledges the emergency performance of water and sewer district collection system, distribution system, and treatment facilities repairs as fully detailed in his memo dated November 3rd, 2022, attached hereto and made a part hereof. I offer this resolution as read.
Seconded by Councilman Baranowski. Can we get a roll call?
Councilman Baranowski. Yes. Councilman Lombardi.
Aye.
Councilwoman McDonough.
Yes.
Councilman Shannell.
Yes.
Supervisor Kazari.
Yes, Resolution 4 passed. This was the repair of the 1 million BTU heating unit. They repaired it and saved the district quite a bit of money in not having to replace the unit. So that was actually a good thing the operator did, B&J. Resolution number 5 is a resolution amending and adopting 2023 user fee schedule. Councilman Baranowski, please.
Resolved that the Town Board of the Town of Carmel hereby adopts, effective immediately, the Town of Carmel user fee schedule for fiscal year 2023 in form as attached hereto and made a part hereof. I offer this resolution as read.
Second.
Seconded by McDonough and Shannell. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Resolution 5 passed. Resolution number 6 is resolution authorizing entry into contracts with Penflex, Inc. for Service Award Program Administration. Councilman Lombardi, would you?
Resolved that the Town Board of Town of Carmel, acting as commissioners of Carmel Fire Protection Districts Number 1 and 2, hereby authorizes entry into Service Award Program service agreements with Penflex, Inc. of Latham, New York, for administrative services for the Fire Protection District Service Award Program in said districts. And be it further resolved that such service shall be for the period of November 1, 2022 through and including October 31, 2023, at an estimated cost of $7,600 for Fire Protection District Number 1 and $8,500 for Fire Protection Number 2, as contained in the October 2022 proposal, which is attached here too and made part hereof. And be it further resolved, the Town Supervisor, Michael Kazari, is hereby authorized to sign any and all necessary documentation required to effect this authorization on the terms set forth herein. I offer this resolution as read.
Second.
Seconded by Shannell and McDonough. Can we have a roll call?
Councilman Baranowski.
Yes.
Councilman Lombardi. Councilwoman McDonough.
Yes.
Councilman Shannell.
Yes.
Supervisor Kazari.
Yes, Resolution 6 passed. Number 7 is resolution authorizing submission of statement of delinquent Town of Carmel Water District Sewer District charges for re-levying on the 2023 county and town tax bill. Councilman Shallon?
Resolved that the Town Board of the Town of Carmel, pursuant to Section 198 of the Town Law of the State of New York, hereby authorizes submission of the attached statements of delinquent water and sewer charges for the town's water and sewer districts, as well as pursuant to Chapter 114 of the Town Code as prepared by the Town Comptroller's Office and attached hereto and made a part hereof, to the Putnam County Legislature for the re-levying of such charges on the 2023 county and town tax bill. I offer this resolution as read.
Second by Councilwoman McDonough. Can I get a roll call vote?
Councilman Baranowski.
Yes.
Councilman Lombardi.
Aye.
Councilwoman McDonough.
Yes.
Councilman Shannon.
Yes.
Supervisor Kazari.
Yes, Resolution 7 approved. Number 8 is a resolution amending and adopting preliminary budget as annual budget fiscal year ending 2023. Whereas the town board has met at the time and place specified in the notice of public hearing on the preliminary budget and heard all persons desiring to be heard thereon, and whereas following the public hearing, the town board met with the town comptroller, Mary Ann Maxwell, regarding the amended preliminary budget as described on the attached schedules to arrive at a final budget for fiscal year 2023. Now therefore be it resolved that the final budget as incorporated herein and made a part hereof is hereby adopted as the annual budget for the town of Carmel for the fiscal year beginning the first day of January 2023, and that budgets as so adopted be entered in detail in the minutes of the town board, and be it further resolved that the town of Carmel town clerk, Ann Spofford, shall prepare and certify in duplicate copies of said annual budget as adopted by this town board, together with the assessment rolls for benefit improvements adopted pursuant to Section 202A, Subdivision 2 of the town law, and deliver one copy thereof to the town supervisor, Michael Kazari, to be presented by him to the Putnam County Legislature. I offer this resolution as read.
Second.
Seconded by Baranowski and Lombardi. Do we have to do a roll call? Yeah. Yeah, roll call vote.
Councilman Baranowski.
Yes.
Councilman Lombardi.
Aye.
Councilwoman McDonough.
Yes.
Councilman Shannon.
Yes.
Supervisor Kazari.
Yes, so now we approved my first budget.
Good job.
Good job, yes, thank you.
Congratulations.
So the ninth
you,
resolution.
Marianne.
Oh, thank you, Marianne. One hand clapping. Number 9, resolution accepting proposal for snow removal services at Swan Cove. Councilwoman McDonough, please.
Sure, resolved that the town board of the town of Carmel, upon the recommendation of town of Carmel town engineer Richard J. Franzetti, P.E., as duly detailed in his memo dated November 3rd, 2022, hereby accepts the proposal of Lake Mahopac Landscaping for snow removal services at Swan Cove Park for the year 2022 at a total cost not to exceed $15,600, with the option to renew for the years 2023 and 2024 at a cost not to exceed $16,400, and years 2024-25 at a cost not to exceed $17,300. And be it further resolved, the town supervisor, Michael Kazari, is hereby authorized to sign all necessary documents to accept said proposal. And be it further resolved, the town comptroller, Mary Ann Maxwell, is hereby authorized to make any budgetary transfers or modifications required pursuant to this authorization. I offer this resolution as read.
Second.
Seconded.
Seconded by Shannon and Baranowski. Could we get a roll call?
Councilman Baranowski.
Yes.
Councilman Lombardi.
Aye.
Councilwoman McDonough.
Yes.
Councilman Shannon.
Yes.
Supervisor Kazari.
Yes, resolution number 9 passed. Number 10 is a resolution authorizing signing of change order number 3, Carmel Water Districts 2, 3, 8, 14, townwide rehabilitation and installation contract number C268. Councilman Baranowski, would you read that?
Certainly. Whereas the town board of the town of Carmel, acting as commissioners of town of Carmel water districts numbers 2, 3, 8, and 14, has previously awarded the contract for the above project to Harold Construction, Kingston, New York, and whereas town engineer Richard J. Franzetti, P.E., has provided proposed change order number 3 to the aforesaid contract to the town board for consideration and review. Now therefore be it resolved that the Town Board of the Town of Carmel, acting as commissioners of Town of Carmel Water Districts numbers 2, 3, 8, and 14, hereby authorizes Town of Carmel Supervisor Michael Kazari to sign change order number 3 to the aforementioned contract. Said change order to be in form as attached hereto and made a part hereof. I offer this resolution as read.
Second.
Seconded by Councilman Lombardi. Can we get a roll call?
Councilman Baranowski.
Yes.
Councilman Lombardi.
Aye.
Councilwoman McDonough.
Yes.
Councilman Shannon.
Yes.
Supervisor Kazari.
Yes, resolution number 10 passed. Number 11 is a resolution authorizing purchase of genset generator from Carmel Volunteer Fire Department. Councilman Lombardi, would you please?
Resolved that the Town Board of the Town of Carmel, upon the recommendation of Town Engineer Richard J. Franzetti, P.E., in his memo dated November 3rd, 2022, hereby authorizes the purchase of a genset Cumming 50-kilowatt generator from the Town of Carmel Volunteer Fire Department at a cost not to exceed $7,000. And be it further resolved that Town Supervisor Michael Kazari is hereby authorized to sign any and all necessary documentation to accept said purchase. And be it further resolved, the Town Controller Mary Ann Maxwell is hereby authorized to make any budgetary transfers or modifications required pursuant to this authorization. I offer this resolution as read.
Second.
Seconded by Councilman Shannon. Roll call, please, Ken?
Councilman Baranowski.
Yes.
Councilman Lombardi.
Aye.
Councilwoman McDonough.
Yes.
Councilman Shannon.
Yes.
Supervisor Kazari.
Yes. So number 11 passed. We'll be getting that generator. Number 12 is a resolution authorizing refund of a permit fee to a Kent resident. Councilman Shannon, would you?
Resolved that the Town Board of the Town of Carmel, upon the recommendation of Town of Carmel Director of Codes Enforcement, hereby authorizes refund of permit fee for a master bath addition, permit number 122-1067, 94 Barrett Hill Road, Carmel, TM number 53.17-1-29. I offer this resolution as read.
Seconded.
Seconded by Lombardi and Councilman Baranowski. Can we get a roll call?
Councilman Baranowski.
Yes.
Councilman Lombardi. Councilwoman McDonough.
Yes.
Councilman Shannon.
Yes.
Supervisor Kazari.
Yes. Number 12 passed. Number 13 is a resolution scheduling the public hearing to hear objections to assessment rolls for the operation and maintenance of the improvements of the garbage, sewer, and water districts for fiscal year 2023. Whereas the town of Carmel hereby has completed its assessment rolls for the operation and maintenance of the improvements serving Carmel sewer districts 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8, and extensions thereto, as well as Carmel water districts 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12, 13, and 14, and extensions thereto, as well as the Town of Carmel Garbage District of said town for fiscal year 2023, and whereas said assessment rolls have been filed with Ann Spofford, Town Clerk of the Town of Carmel, now therefore be it resolved that the Town Board of the Town of Carmel hereby schedules a public hearing at Town Hall, 60 McAlpin Avenue, Mahopac, New York, 10541, on Wednesday, December 7th, 2022, at 7 p.m. or as soon thereafter that evening as possible, for the purpose of considering any objections which may be made to said assessment rolls. I offer this resolution as read.
Second.
Seconded by McDonough and Baranowski. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. 13 passed. Number 14 is resolution authorizing commencement of litigation. Councilwoman McDonough?
Sure, whereas the Town Board of the Town of Carmel has been advised by Town of Carmel Highway Superintendent Michael J. Simone that certain subdivision roads within the Town of Carmel have not been dedicated in their entirety to the Town of Carmel after completion. And whereas the Town Board wishes to acquire title to the referenced roads for purposes of obtaining funding from New York State for their future maintenance and repair. Resolved that the Town Board of the Town of Carmel hereby authorizes Town Council Gregory L. Fulchetti, 1875 Route 6, Carmel, New York, to commence all necessary proceedings required for purposes of acquiring title to James Court, Julia Court, Maple Lane, Betsy Road, is it Barrelin Court, Black Rock Road, and Oak Pond Lane from the current record owners of same, including all property which was initially intended to be dedicated to the town of Carmel with respect to the construction of the referenced road and improvements. And be it further resolved that such authorization shall be deemed to include, but not limited to, commencement of proceedings, including litigation under the New York State eminent domain procedure law and/or New York State highway law. And be it further resolved that such services are hereby authorized at a rate of $225 per hour. And be it further resolved that the costs, fees, and disbursements incurred in such action shall be first charged directly against any security previously posted with the town of Carmel for the construction of the improvements and related site work for the referenced roads. I offer this resolution as read.
Second.
Seconded by Councilman Baranowski. Can we get a roll call?
Councilman Baranowski?
Yes.
Councilman Lombardi?
Aye.
Councilwoman McDonough?
Yes.
Councilman Shannon?
Yes.
Supervisor Kazari?
Yes, Resolution 14 passed. Let's get right on that. Hurry up. All right. So number 15 is a resolution authorizing execution of memorandum of agreement regarding police canine unit. Councilman Lombardi, could you read that?
Oh, you skipped
Oh,
me.
Baranowski, sorry.
Stole my thunder.
I'm sorry.
Resolved that the town board of the town of Carmel hereby ratifies and accepts the memorandum of agreement dated November 16, 2022, between the Town of Carmel Police Benevolent Association and the Town of Carmel regarding the establishment of a canine unit, which is attached hereto and made a part hereof. Be it further resolved that the town board hereby authorizes Town Supervisor Michael Kazari to execute the memorandum of agreement on its behalf. I offer this resolution as read.
Second.
Seconded by Shannon and McDonough. I guess a roll call.
Councilman Baranowski?
Yes.
Councilman Lombardi?
Aye.
Councilwoman McDonough?
Yes.
Councilman Shannon?
Yes.
Supervisor Kazari?
Yes, Resolution 15 passed. 16 is a resolution authorizing entry into an easement agreement for electric vehicle charging station. Councilman Lombardi?
Whereas the town of Carmel had received a grant from the New York State Department of Environmental Conservation for the supply and installation of 4 electric vehicle charging stations, and whereas the town board had previously awarded the contract for supply and installation of the referenced EV stations to Plug-in Stations Online LLC, Valentine, New York, and whereas one such charging station location requiring the conveyance of easement interest from the owner of record for the premises located at 565 Route 6N, Town of Carmel, tax map 75.6-1-69, and whereas such easement agreement, which was drafted in accordance with the terms and conditions of the New York State DEC grant received by the Town of Carmel, as well as pursuant to Article 51, Title 15 of the New York State Environmental Conservation Law, has been executed by the fee owner of the referenced property and received by the Town of Carmel. Now therefore be it resolved, Town Supervisor Michael Kazari is hereby authorized to countersign said easement agreement in form and substance as currently on file in the office of the Town Supervisor, together with any ancillary documentation required for such easement to be recorded in the Land Records Division of the Office of the Clerk of the County of Putnam. I offer this resolution as read.
Second.
Seconded by Councilman Shannon. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. So 16 is passed. You? So that concludes our voting meeting. Announcements, just to let everybody know that the town hall will be closed for the Thanksgiving holiday. That's Thursday, November 24th, and then the following day, Black Friday, November 25th. We open again on Monday, the 28th at 8:30. Holiday on the Lake, sponsored by the Hamilton Carmel Civic Association. Again, this year will be the first Saturday in December. It'll be December 3rd. There'll be hay rides from 3:30 to 5. There'll be tastings at 4 o'clock. The Cornerstone Park will have a tree lighting ceremony. At 5:30, there'll be live music at various locations along Oneida Avenue. 6:15 to 6:30, there's the Santa stroll down Fair Street. 6:30, there'll be the Parade of Lights, is just an amazing parade with all those lights. And then at 7:30, there'll be the tree lighting ceremony at Lake Oneida. That's all I have.
I have two announcements. This coming Saturday, November 19th, from 12 to 2, at the Red Mills Convenience Center at the Shell Station, there is a food drive, so please come by from 12 to 2, help out some families during this holiday season. The other announcement is on November 27th, there's a holiday at the park, at the Chamber Park in Mahopac. Tree lighting and menorah lighting. Santa arrives at 5 o'clock. Don't forget your photos to take pictures with Santa. Entertainment begins at 4:30. So hope to see everybody there.
I have nothing.
Yep, I just have that this Saturday at the Putnam Golf Course, there's going to be the Veterans Thanksgiving Dinner. It's open to all veterans plus one guest. The dinner is at 12:30. There is no charge at all. It's a really, really wonderful event, and if you're a veteran, please contact myself or my sister, and we'll get you signed up for it. But just come and enjoy. Again, the seating's at 12:30, and it's a full course meal served to all of the veterans.
Okay, so if I can get a motion to close the voting meeting.
So moved.
A second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you, Ann.
Good night.
So a motion to open the work session.
So moved.
And a second? Second. All in favor?
Aye.
All right, so our work session this evening, we have 3 items. First, I ask all the board members to review the town board minutes from October 19th and November 2nd that Ann Spofford was gracious enough to
Thank you,
give to
Ann.
you.
Good night.
Chief, you are up, sir. Our first item is Police Chief Anthony Hoffman. Consider request to authorize purchase and installation of emergency lights for 2 police vehicles that are sitting in the parking lot.
Thank you, Mr. Supervisor, members of the board. As you mentioned, as the board is aware, we recently purchased 2 Dodge Ram pickup trucks for use in the police department's fleet. When we did purchase them, they came clean, if you will. No equipment, no center console, no emergency lights, no sirens. So our staff, particularly Sergeant Steve McCabe, our fleet supervisor, put out requests for quotes to local upfitting concerns. We sent them out to 4 particular companies. We received replies from 2. One of the replies did not completely address some of our needs, and the one that did was RFC Emergency Lighting in Briarcliff Manor. RFC Emergency Lighting is the company that did our special operations truck, and we were very pleased with not only the work that they did, but the speed in which they did it. And their lead times were very accurate. And what we got from them was a proposal to upfit both of these vehicles for a cost of $13,709.66. And I offer that to the board with our recommendation that we the town board pass a resolution that we make that purchase and get these vehicles upfitted, get their lights and sirens together, and we can get them into the fleet. So, thank you.
Questions?
No markings, just the equipment.
No, just the equipment. Neither one needs markings. One's going to be an admin vehicle, the other will be a detective's vehicle, so they won't be part of the marked fleet.
Okay. Sounds like a reasonable price.
Yes. That's for both, the 13,000 numbers for both vehicles. So for an unmarked vehicle in that range, that's pretty good.
Pretty good.
Yeah, that's good.
I'm good with it.
You getting caps?
No.
No.
No caps.
The
Wasn't-
covers?
Not needed. We're getting, we have a cargo thing for the bed, so the detectives will be able to store their detective equipment, evidence stuff,
Yeah.
so that'll be covered.
Very good. Thank you, Chief.
All right, thank
Good-
you.
Good job before.
Thank you.
Thank
Have
you,
a good night.
So our second item is our town comptroller, Mary Ann Maxwell. Consider budget revisions, October 2022. Mary Ann?
Good evening. So this is the budget revisions through October of 2022, but we also looked out through November and December to forecast through the rest of the year. So, we won't have to come back to do any, hopefully, any further budget revisions for the rest of the year. It is long, there's 6 pages, so I'm not going to go through them all. So if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to me, but I will cover the main ones. So in the general fund, we're providing for the payout of accrued vacation time. This is contractual in the Justice Court and the Recreation departments. That's a total of $5,072. Number 2, we're providing for a payout of accrued time per resolution. That's in the town clerk's office, and that's $23,401. Number 3, we're providing for the police overtime from traffic control revenue that we've received from Villa Barone, and that's $10,500. So that cost goes to offset the overtime expense. Number 4, we're providing for youth program expenses. So what this is we've taken in more than what we budgeted in youth program revenue. So basically, that revenue that comes in helps cover the cost of the staff to run the programs and the programs themselves. So we're basically transferring money into those programs, increasing the revenue that we've received. Okay, and that's a total of $55,000. So that's a good thing. It's a good thing that we're taking in that revenue, and we had to increase the expense to, because you have to basically pay for the cost of those programs. Okay. Number 5, 6, and 7, we're transferring from the contingent account. Number 5 is for the Lake Cassie and Kirk Lake catch basin sampling. Number 6, we're transferring also from the contingent account for landscape maintenance in downtown Mahopac. And number 7, we're transferring for property appraisals of $4,750. Number 9 and number 10, we're basically transferring for building utility expense and other miscellaneous expenses in the general funds. And then in the police department, we're transferring the overtime. We feel will go over budget this year, so we're transferring $160,000 into that police overtime line. We also feel that the vehicle fuel will be over budget, so we're transferring $60,000 into that, and then some other miscellaneous expenses. On page 2, number 12 and number 13 are transferring for highway expenses in the general funds and miscellaneous recreation expenses in the general funds. In the highway fund, the bottom of page 2, we're providing for vehicle repairs from an insurance claim and guide rail repairs also from an insurance claim. These are insurance claim revenue that we've received, and they will help offset the cost. Number 16 on the bottom, also transferring for, we feel that the gas and fuel in the highway department will also go over budget this year, so we're transferring money into that line, as well as contractual expenses, general repair contractual expenses. Now, on page 3, and really the rest of the pages are the park districts and the water and sewer districts. And I'm not going to go through all of these, but you can look through them yourselves, and you can see that we're transferring for utility expense, chemical expense, emergency repairs, and the sewer district, sludge expenses, other operating expenses. Everything has gone up. So we're either transferring from within the fund, within that district itself, or we're taking from the fund balance. So this was very challenging, and I think 2023 is going to be even more challenging. We were, the board adopted the budget for '23. We were able to stay under the tax cap. We are limited to what taxes we can raise. So if you don't have the money in the fund balance, then you have to borrow from the general fund, or you have to do some. So it's going to be tough. So if anybody has any other questions with any of these, but it was very challenging to forecast through the rest of the year with limited funds, basically, in the water and sewer districts. I did want to point out one other one, though, on page 5, up to The second one, it's number 35 and 36. We're transferring for the PFOS and PFOA engineering services. That's in Water District number 9 and number 12. These were the only districts that were able to fund that this year. There's other districts that that there's gonna be engineering services for. Those will happen in 2023. So we were able to transfer the funds this year in districts 9 and 12. But I think it's districts 3, 4, 5, and 6, I believe, are the other districts that will.
And 8, right?
8, yes. 8 is a little different, though. That has to do with the manholes, I think. I think that's a little different, but yes, 8 will have to transfer. Yeah, so. Anyway, if anybody has any other questions, I know it's a
Marion,
lot.
unrelated question. After the turn of the year, when do we get our first picture of the mortgage recording tax for the full year?
For 2023?
No, for 22, yeah, for the full year.
Oh,
Is
for
that-
the full year?
Yeah, is that like in February?
We'll receive, so what happens is I get an estimate every month
Okay,
for the mortgage tax.
got it.
And then we won't get a check. So we get the check twice a year.
Yep,
And we get the check in May, which goes through March of next year.
yep,
So the check for May is a 6-month period, and it's from October of '22 through March of '23. So when I close out the year for '22, it's an estimate, because I don't know, I get an estimate each month from the county, and then they take their I guess it's like, I don't know if it's a fee or something that they, an adjustment that they charge
Yep.
us from that revenue. And then I send you guys a spreadsheet,
Yes.
monthly. So
Yep.
basically, I make an estimate to see where we're going to end the year.
okay, so we
You
should
know.
get that like in January at some
Oh,
point?
definitely, yeah,
Okay, great.
yes, yes.
Thank you.
Yes, definitely,
Yep.
yeah. But we won't get the check until next year, so,
Yeah, we're just sensitive to
of course, yeah,
trying to stay on top of, what's happening in the economy. So
Absolutely.
it's kind of a good indicator.
Mhm.
So, all right, thank you.
yeah. Okay, thank you.
No other questions?
No questions.
Thank you.
Marion.
So our last item, my Chief of Staff, Ann Pascarello, consider request to accept proposal for videotaping of various board meetings for 23 through 26, with the option to renew in 2027. Ann?
Good evening, Board. As you know, the video recording services contract will be expiring at the end of this year, and the Supervisor's Office sent out requests for proposals for the videotaping services for the years 23, 24, and 25, with an option to renew for 26 and 27. There were 7 vendors that it was sent to. You have a list and part of your backup. And November 2nd, 4 vendors submitted proposals. And upon review of the proposals, the Supervisor's Office is recommending that we accept the proposal of 10 Green Media, Mayapack, New York, qualified by vendor. He's our current videographer. And as detailed in the memo, those are his proposals, and I'm asking the board to accept this so we could pass it for resolution at our next voting meeting.
Thank you for doing all that work. Anybody have comments?
And I thank Town Legal Counsel for helping me through it.
So we're going to be meeting again on the 7th, and December 7th, that's going to be a double meeting. There'll be a voting meeting followed by a work session again. And I have no other comments. Anybody?
Just want to wish everybody a safe and healthy Thanksgiving.
Ditto.
Thanksgiving weekend.
Yep, ditto.
I wanted to just take the opportunity to congratulate the supervisor and, of course, our town controller for the first budget. I think it's a good budget. I think it's, it provides for the services the residents expect, and I think it's a cautious budget, as we would, deem necessary in this environment. So, anyway, congratulations.
Thank you, thank you.
Congratulations.
Great job.
Yes. in this recession that we're in. So, good night, everybody. Oh, a motion to close the meeting, yeah.
So moved.
All in favor?
Second.
All right. Good night, everybody. Thank you. We'll talk again on the
Happy
7th.
holiday.
Yes, enjoy your Thanksgiving. Don't eat too much.